Greetings and salutations, my fellow Illumineers. It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with another Lorcana video. The sharks are in the water. One of the ugliest aspects of TCGs has finally found its way into Disney Lorcana and has reared its ugly head at the most inopportune time. But you're in luck. If you're watching this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to prevent something like this from happening to you. But first, before we hop in, make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Sharking, rule scumming, angle shooting, all those things you guys may have heard before, but if this is your first TCG, I'm going to break it down for you. First, rule sharking. When I'm talking sharking, I'm not talking about Maui hash shark, okay? I'm talking about rule sharking. Rule sharking is an unsportsmanlike tactic using the rules of the game in a technical or overly strict way to gain an unfair advantage. Basically, you're just nitpicking nickel and dime and trying to find every possible loophole you can in order to gain a strategic advantage. If you pay attention to the competitive community at all, you'll understand that DLC Australia went down. It was a very epic first of DLC in that region. Shout out to DKP, Denke and Fam, who came out and won that tournament. But unfortunately, that's not the story of the event. The story of the event is this play that happened in the semifinals with the Golden Mickey on the line, with the World's Invitation on the line. This play happened.
Oh, I'm not
with the crab.
Okay, go for short, so it gains 1, so it goes up to 8.
Yeah, if there was a way for
and then
Jesse
you move
to
the broom away.
banish the broom.
Banish broom. Oh,
Bruh. And first, I have to add a caveat that I don't have all the information. I haven't done an investigation. I haven't spoke to the players or the judges or anyone there involved. I didn't hear everything, but from looking at this replay, you can clearly see that Jesse plays the goat to the field after exerting the broom, gains the lore from the goat, and goes to pop the broom, and this happened. This is a rule shark. This is someone who is trying to manipulate the rules in order to gain a competitive advantage. Unfortunately, the judge on the scene did not rectify the situation correctly in my estimation. Again, this is me going off of just watching the stream live and seeing it happen live, so I cannot confirm or deny what was said between the players or what was said between Clement or what was said between the judges or that entire conversation, but I can see that this is what it appears to have happened, so that is what the speculation I'm going to go with is. And if you've played this game, or if you watch this video that I made on this channel, you'll understand how the bag works and know that you can trigger the goat, gain the lore, and then declare the effect of that broom. Jesse then had a very vulnerable position, and he ended up losing that game, unfortunately, because of this rule shark situation. So, is this legal? Is this something that is going to happen to me? Is this something that I should look out for? I will say yes, it is technically legal, and it's definitely something that you look out for, but there are some tips and tricks that you can use in order to block these kind of things from happening to you. Number one, I would say rule sharking probably isn't always as bad as it appeared in this clip that I showed you. Sometimes it's a little more nuanced, and sometimes it's necessary, because on the opposite end of that spectrum, if people are just playing fast and loose and not abiding by the rules of the game becomes chaotic that way as well. But on the opposite end of that spectrum, if everyone is just being super nitpicky and super calling the judge every 5 seconds, the game goes very slow and it becomes super unfun to be a part of. But in the middle, when both players are paying attention to the game, abiding by the rules, and having fun, it's going to be where you want to be. That's the happy medium. You don't want to be too much and you don't want to be too little. So you need to find that happy medium, and that's where you need to remain in order to have the best, most competitive games. The number one tip I would suggest if you are trying to play this game in any competitive fashion to avoid being rule sharked is you need to learn the rules. You have to deep dive the rules, and it's really not as easy as it may seem, because a lot of sources aren't readily available at this time. The game is very new, especially on the competitive level, and there are a lot of hurdles that still need to be crossed in order to get this game up. But you need to be on the internet, you need to be on social media, you need to be in these discords, you need to be playing in a ton of tournaments, you need to be reading all your cards, you need to be reading all the publications that have been issued, so that way you'll have a firm base and understanding of the rules, especially the cards in your deck and the cards that you are more likely to see in these meta strategies. So learning the rules back, front, up, down, inside, and out to prevent these things from happening, because if you're a new player and you don't know all the rules, or you're very unconfident about the rules and you're playing against someone who is a rule shark, well, guess what? They are going to try to use their knowledge to manipulate you, and maybe they could even lie. And since you don't know, you don't have a foundation, then they can definitely take advantage of that, and that will cause them wins. And that's all they want to do is probably win anyway. And then you're going to be in a poor spot. So make sure you learn the rules, or at a minimum, know what your deck's supposed to do and what the meta deck's supposed to do. And don't take anything for granted for your opponent, because they could be trying to manipulate you. Number 2, I would say, don't be afraid to call the judge. Even in this instance, the judge was there on the scene. This was a feature match at the semifinals. The judge was there, and I do believe that the judge probably got it wrong. Maybe the judges don't even have all the experience, but still, don't be afraid to call the judge. And even if you know the rules, like, because you've studied, you've taken tip number 1, you've studied and you've learned the rules of the game, and maybe you know the rules better than some of the judges do, because again, this is a new game. Maybe they didn't study as much as you did. Always be prepared to appeal. Okay, you can't appeal every single rule because you don't want to anamorph into a rule shark yourself, but you need to understand that if they don't have the right call, or if it's still not right, or if you just know for a fact that it's wrong, you can always appeal to a higher level judge. I don't believe Jesse knew that he could do that, and Jesse probably should have appealed to a higher authority there in that situation and got it down in black and white, and then you could have probably got that call reversed. But I still say you need to call the judge, and if the judge doesn't know, you need to appeal to a second opinion in order to get that rule correct. Number 3, just like I mentioned before, you always want to be clear and concise when you're making your plays. You want to be vocal, you want to be deliberate, because when you're not vocal and you're not deliberate, you're opening opportunities, you're opening doors for these types of things to happen. You want to play very slow, and if you see someone that's already demonstrating rule shark like behavior, then you really need to slow down and you need to communicate with this person, and you probably need to go ahead and get the judge in early, because if they're trying to rule shark or rule scum you, they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to do it in order just to wait for you to falter and then try to manipulate that situation for an advantage. It is a very, very ugly tactic. It's a very ugly scheme, and I personally believe that that has no place in this game. If you are someone who is exhibiting those behaviors, you need to just remove yourself from this game and go do something else, because this is not the place for you. Which does bring me to my next point. If you are finding yourself in a situation where someone is exhibiting these behaviors, it is very important that you stay calm. Okay, do not get upset, do not come unstowed, do not come unglued, because you're going to lose your cool and then you're going to snowball. Okay, and then when the judge does show up, or when the authorities do show up to your table and you're irate, which you're probably going to be irate if someone is rule sharking you actively and they're getting the calls and it's not being reversed, you're going to be irate. You must remain calm, because as soon as you blow your lid, they're going to automatically take the side of the other person. So you need to remain calm at all times. Talk to the judge in a very calm, clear voice and explain what is happening. And if they can't give you the answers you want, you can always appeal to the next level. So make sure you just stay calm with it, stay as professional as you can. Even though you're going to be upset, it's very important that you remain calm, and then the situation should, in fact, get resolved. One of the last tips I would have for this is that you need to not do this. You need to not participate in these types of behavior. If you find yourself in a situation where you are being a rule shark and you're scumming rules, then you need to stop it. You need to be a good ambassador for the game, because that is what's going to help the game grow. That is what is going to set this game apart from other TCGs that have had these bad reputations. If you're part of the problem, then you're going to be a part of the problem. I'm not saying you have to be super lenient and give take backs and lose your game because people are misplaying and not knowing the rules. Those are different things completely. Also, people not maintaining the game state and cheating in general. So everyone out there, if you're watching this video, it is your responsibility to be a good ambassador to this game and to help grow this game and to help play this game in a fair and competitive manner, and not have to rely on disingenuous tactics in order to try to gain some type of competitive advantage. It's just absolutely not worth it, because in the end, your integrity has to have some type of value. And if you blow your integrity in order to win a simple game or to place high in a simple tournament, then is it even worth it? And I would say no, but to some people, they might not agree. But still, I just wanted to make this video very quickly, because I know a lot of people are talking about this. And one thing I will say is that I hope that if you are watching this video, you are remaining calm, you aren't being incredibly rude to anybody, you're not DMing anyone anyone or harassing anyone. The game is still rather new in that region, and there are a lot of issues that still need to be resolved in the game completely on a competitive level, and I'm certain that it's going to happen. But just try to have some type of peace and remain optimistic, and don't go harassing anybody, to include the judges or the players or anyone involved. And I hope that there will be some type of resolution in the future, and these things will continue to happen as these games continue to grow. Now, if you watch this video, you'll have ways to defend yourself. But if you like videos like this, maybe you'll like other videos I did on the channel. Continue to support the program. I'm on my way up. A lot of people watch these videos but aren't subscribed, so if you can, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It will help me out tremendously. But that's all I have this time. As always, I'm JDZ. I'm on a quest. Until next time, shout out to the real ones. Salute to the OGs. Peace.